Have you ever wondered how some guys just seem to always know what to say to girls? They never seem to run out of things to talk about, and the conversation always flows smoothly. Well, there's actually a secret formula that these guys are using, and a lot of them are not even aware of it, and it's called the golden ratio of conversation. And now you have the advantage because by learning this formula, you'll be able to adapt it to your own style and become a master conversationalist. In business, the most critical element of any discussion is making sure the client feels good about it. What isn't as obvious is that what they're feeling has more to do with how much they can say rather than how much information you share with them. Why? Because what they really want is to feel understood, heard, and reassured. So, should there be more talking or listening in the equation? Sales professionals who have the best performance usually speak 43% of the time, while their clients do most of the talking at 57%. This balance is called the golden talk-listen ratio. The same principles apply when talking with girls. If you want to make a girl like you, you have to listen to her and let her feel understood. The golden rule is to speak 40% of the time and listen for 60% of the conversation. Simply put, this means that you should aim to say about 4 things for every 6 things that she says. Let her do most of the talking, and only speak when it's necessary. By doing so, you'll come across as an interesting and engaging conversationalist, 2 qualities that are sure to win any girl over. If you want to improve your game and make her feel more connected to you, keep the golden ratio in mind. However, there is one downside to this talk less, listen more strategy. Overzealous males might fall into asking too many questions, making the female feel interrogated. Remember that it's not about asking a lot of questions. That will only cause discomfort. So, how can you get a woman to talk more without pressing? Here are 3 techniques you should try. Number 1 is emotional labeling. This is when you listen to the emotions expressed in a girl's answer to your question and label or describe that emotion out loud. This helps create a connection and shows that you're paying attention. For instance, pretend you're on a date and you ask your date how her day was. Your date may say that she had a great time at work, but then followed up with how they're a little stressed because of an upcoming project deadline. You could then say something like, "It sounds like you're feeling a little anxious about that deadline." By doing this, you're not only validating how she feels, but you're also building rapport and making her feel heard. This is the first step to getting them to open up to you more. Next is the socially awkward pause. We've all been there. You ask someone how their day was and they respond with good, and then there's that awkward silence where you both just stare at each other because you don't know what to say next. The key to avoiding these types of situations is to pause for 3 to 4 seconds after the person is finished speaking. This will prompt them to continue talking to avoid social awkwardness. You'd be surprised how much people will add to the end of their responses if you just give them a few extra seconds. For example, let's say you're at a party and you meet a girl named Sarah. You strike up a conversation with her and ask her what her major is. She responds with marketing. Instead of just standing there awkwardly, you pause for 3 to 4 seconds before saying anything else. This allows her to expand on her answer and tell you more about her major. She might say something like, "I love marketing because it's all about understanding people and finding out what they want." By using the socially awkward pause, you're allowing her to open up more and share more about herself. As a result, she'll start to feel more connected to you and the conversation will flow more smoothly. It is the key to making a good impression. The final and most important tip is to be able to describe her feelings better than she can. She might be struggling to put them into words, but you should be able to understand her in a way that no one else does. Doing so will make her feel more connected to you. For example, Sarah is upset about something that happened at work and how her coworker said something that made her feel belittled. How would you explain her feelings to her in a way that she would feel more connected to you? You could say something like, "It sounds like your coworker's comments made you feel belittled and like your work isn't good enough. I can understand why you would feel that way." This shows her that you understand how she's feeling and makes her feel more connected to you. Additionally, it lets her know that you are a good listener and willing to listen to her concerns. As a result, she will be more likely to open up to you in the future and trust you with her thoughts and feelings. To sum up, if you want to make a girl like you, the best way is to lend a listening ear and be interested in learning about her experiences. By utilizing the technique that you've learned, you'll get an understanding of not just what she faces, but how those challenges sit with her emotionally. This will enable you to not only sympathize with her, but also better communicate your own ideas. You mustn't think of this as a cold and calculated way to gather information, but as a technique to connect with her on a deeper level. When you let her do the talking, you gain access to her personality, likes and dislikes, and how she feels about things she would only disclose to the person she feels connected with. This builds trust and catapults your connection to the next level.